Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into your this week's read. For the main cards, I'm going to use the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Like, the energy took a bump there for a second. So what's that about? We'll find out in a second. Okay. Not sure if that's going to go left or right, but we'll find out. Really? Okay. We're having a fallout card day where cards just fall out of the deck, which is usually a significant moment. I'm noticing it's tending to be in the environment too, and I think the other two earth signs had it too. I think. Let's just keep going. When you're going forward, when you're coming right into it, your energy seems very stable with the feeling of growth. And you got a lot of growth happening in this situation because of holding to the rules. The Hierophant card with growth, which is, it's a good pairing, because the Hierophant is about rules, adhering to the rules. There's different ways the Hierophant comes in, obviously. But to me, it's very much a rule in the sense of, like, you do this, you get that out. Put this in, you get that out. You do this, you get that. You know, you pay me the money, you get the service. You know what I mean? You put in the investment, you get out the reward. That type of feel. And the growth is coming because, like, we're holding to the plan. This is the plan. Stick to the plan. And as long as we do, we're going to get this growth. And this is a plan based on, like, the whole point of this plan is to create growth. And you're like, this is very stable. This is what we're expecting. This is what we're going to get out of it. And that is becoming true. Now, you're able to use this to your benefit is what I'm getting. You got peace on your side. Because things are going as planned. Not only are people holding to the plan, results are coming as expected. The plan is working out correctly. The plan must have been good. You must have made a good plan or been a part of a good plan. Because, you know, you can plan for success. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. But in this case, you are. If it's a solid plan, if it's a good plan, which I feel like I'm feeling your influence on this. So I'm thinking you wouldn't have really gotten involved in it if you didn't believe in it, and it takes a lot to convince you, is what I'm also getting. So it looks like that's why it's good. That's why you're at peace. Like, this went correctly. This is working out correctly. This all made sense to me. It's working out according to the plan. Cool. Supportive energy around you. Supportive energy around you. You seem to be reiterating and reminding people the plan we're using is working because we're honoring it and we're sticking to it. We're not coloring outside the lines. We're not using funky colors. We're staying in the lines using the predetermined colors. We're doing it as expected. Good. Fine. Everybody seems to be agreeing. Now this is where the Fallout card happened. Now it's right side up. Sovereignty, which is interesting. Now when I'm feeling this, it's kind of like, it's kind of got that scar feel to it. And it's almost feeling like there's things that are slowly changing. This is face down, though, I'm noticing. So when face down cards show up in a reading, it's usually like a secret or unbeknownst to the querent person asking, which would be the person who clicked on this video, which would be you. There's a change. I feel a change. I feel like something else, like people are trying to, like they're working on a new way to do things. They are working on a new way to do things. And I feel like there's changes coming about, but the thing is, this is face down. People are working on changes, working on making things better, working on changing the plan, but they're doing it very quietly. because they're going through possibilities, and this could work and maybe that would work, but they're keeping it very private, kind of like we don't want anybody to get upset, and we're not really convinced that we're going to do this change or that change. And they want to keep control with them, whoever this is in the environment, so they're kind of keeping it to themselves. But changes are already in the works, is what I'm getting. With sovereignty, though, face down, they're trying to be very careful. They're not pushing forth anything until they've made up their mind on what they want to do. Now this is weird. The moon card in this deck comes forth very, I want to say suspiciously, because I feel like there's like this weird energy coming forward, and you're connecting right to it. I feel like you identify it as soon as it starts, kind of like, you know, hints of a change coming in, and people being really over agreeable. Not say agreeable, what do I say? You know when people are just overly nice, you know what I mean? And you're just kind of like, why are you being so nice? People are like, almost like that little kid when they're like complimenting their parent, or saying, oh, you do things so wonderfully, I just love that you're my mommy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they're buttering that parent up. You know what I mean? One of those. It's that energy coming forward. And that's the moon card, kind of like, there's hints of a change coming in. This is Taurus, right? Yeah. This is going to be your only clue that the change is about to happen. You're gonna, because it's gonna be that. It's the best way I could say is like a parent, like a kid saying like, "Oh, you're my favorite mommy," or "You're my favorite daddy," or "You're my favorite whatever you got going on there." You're my favorite aunt. You're my favorite, you know, whatever you got going on there. Because they feel like it's a little bit sugary sweet, and you're like, this is a little out of character. Something's a little weird. That's your heads up. Things are about to change. Now, when that's coming in, I feel like the changes that are about to come forward towards you, there's a lot of conflict in the environment over this. There's a lot of people not happy with this. There's a lot, when it finally comes forward, this is like away from you, but other people also affected by this change. When the change comes forward, there's a few people that are not happy about it, and there's a lot of conflict about it. You get to the point where you have to decide, are you on board or not on board? The realization with the Two of Wands is saying, if you're going to go forward with this, you need to decide now that you're on board with it. If you decide that you're not, it's going to be a very, very rough road. These changes that are coming forward, they've been set up, people have been putting things in place for a while. So it's almost kind of like, how do I put this? It's kind of like the dominoes are already set up. They're already there, you just don't see them. Once the first one gets hit, it's going to go boom, 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 boom. It's like it's going to take a life of its own, because it goes out a ways. Realize that this has all been set up pre-hand. Like before you even, like this has been worked out, the kinks have been worked out, people have been working on this for a while. The fact that this is coming forward, when it finally comes forward to you, there's already a whole structure that you're not seeing that other people have been working on. There's a lot more behind the scenes that you don't know about. So it's not like it's just like, are we going to try this and fail? It's kind of like, we're going to try this, and people are very invested in the success of it. When it first comes forward, you might think, or it may look like it's just a possibility, or just like, let's just try it to see if it works. That's not what this is, though. They're saying there's been already a lot of work behind it, a lot of work pushing it forward. It's starting now, but it's going to go the distance. So keep that in mind. This will go the distance. Realizing that right off the bat, when this change finally comes in, will help you make your decision. Because if you go against it, it's going to be a headache the whole time until you finally do go with it, or you decide to go somewhere else. One of the two. It's just going to be very grating the whole time. If you decide to go with it, I'm not saying you're going to be jumping all over the place happy right off the bat. But if you decide to go with it, at some point you'll get up to speed with it. At some point you'll be okay with it. Subject to you, how long that takes. But they're saying if you decide to go with it, success is still a possibility here. The thing is, the Hierophant, the plan that used to be in effect, is going to be gone. Liking what it was doing, being happy with what it was, it's too late. It's too late. Realizing when it finally comes forward that There's a lot backing it. You just don't see it. It's like a whole tunnel system underground. You can't see it on the surface. You have no idea it's there, but it runs deep and it has a lot of miles to it. Even if people in the environment are very upset about it and you feel like you have allies who also don't like it, they're saying if you align yourself with this energy, you're going to stay in this energy. You're going to be with this conflicted energy. You're going to be unhappy until you decide to go with it or you decide to go somewhere else. They're just saying whatever the situation is, just realize there's a big structure behind it. You just didn't see it being formed when it was starting. All right, and I think that's what we're saying for this one. All right, I hope that helps. I hope that sets you up to help you see something coming forward, to help you decide. Because I feel like the whole point is, like, when you see this change coming in, if you know there's a whole structure behind it, you're going to be like, well, it's either put up or shut up, I guess. It's either go with it or go away. I guess that's my only choice. I think you'll see it for what it is. They're just trying to help you avoid this conflicting energy. All right, so we're going to let it go. I'm going to try to let it go. So thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.